Hi, Kareem. This is David with Pursue Tech. Just wanted to jump on here briefly for you today. I know everyone's busy, but just wanted to get you some eyes on this tool. So I'm going to give you a quick overview. Really looking forward to jumping on with you and Francis and the team at CareOne just to review this application for your medical records process. I know it's very inefficient to date. Your teams have to work documents through an email or a shared folder, and there's a lot of back and forth to point click care that really makes this process inefficient, leads to delays with getting those documents updated in your residence charts. And across the board, your teams are probably standing at the scanners for a bit too long. And this tool will make your whole process really, really efficient, give your team a lot of times back to focus on more important things like their audits. And yeah, we come from nursing homes and understand this process thoroughly. So that's what led us to develop this application. We utilized it in our facilities out here in California for about 6 years and developed this with our teams internally. And just sharing that with others. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview today. Essentially, the way this application works, so it's all web-based. You don't have to download anything on your computers. You access it through a secure dashboard that's all connected to Point Click Care. And essentially, the way it works is that we've developed now a shortcut that'll go work with any copier or scanner in your guys' facility. And from there, let's say the case of a new admission, you get multiple documents. You can place those all on the glass. You'll hit that shortcut and everything files right to the secure dashboard here. So you can also get documents in, let's say you have some PDFs on your desktop or an email, and you want to drag and drop those into this dashboard. I can go ahead and drag them right into this field here on the right-hand side, and within a few seconds, they'll appear right on my dashboard. This also integrates with eFax as well. So if you guys are sending and receiving eFaxes at your facilities, this integrates with eFax. There's no additional charge for that. And you can just send an eFax straight from this portal or just receive those eFaxes straight to the dashboard. You don't have to print them out or scan them. And it just makes that whole process really, really quick for you. So once I have a document in here, all I have to do is click on the document. I'm able to view it in full resolution. As you know, there's 4 things I need to know to be able to get this document into Point Click Care. First is the effective date. By default, it's always set as today's date. You can change that with this little calendar here. It's all synced up to PCC, so your residents are all going to be pre-populated in here. You don't need to make any updates. If you have a new admission or you guys are using CRM or the waiting list, they'll automatically appear in the system. So there's no updates needed. A lot of times this list can get kind of long, so I like to just start typing in here. It's going to find all the jacks in my system. And next is your miscellaneous document categories. So once again, all synced up to PCC. I can just start typing in these fields. Let's say this one's a simple progress note. Lastly is what we want to name the document. So this is a recent update that we made with a suggestion from one of our customers to automatically populate this information for us. And what this does, especially from a compliance perspective, if you're looking at your residence charts, sometimes you might have misspellings, or maybe your medical records team, might label those documents a little bit differently. This will automatically populate that information for you. So there's no spelling errors and everything's synced up. So you don't even have to type anything in here. Let's say you wanted the miscellaneous document category, your residence name, and the effective date all in the title. It's automatically going to populate that information for you. And then you just have 2 buttons here. Upload and homepage is going to push this document to my residence chart and then take me back to that list of documents. Or upload next just pushes this to the residence chart and then loads up the next document in the queue. So you can see when you get a nice flow of this, how quick it is. You can scroll down these lists to find your residents, or same thing with your miscellaneous document categories. You can see it automatically names it for you here. And then I just hit upload and homepage or upload and next just to work through these really, really quickly. Um, this is a good example here. So this is a 24-page document that was scanned in. Let's say it was the case of a new admission. I have many miscellaneous document categories that I need to break up this document. A lot of times your team's going to use a PDF editor for this, or scan in the documents individually, which is very time consuming. We came up with this really awesome split PDF option. So you can scan in a bunch of documents at one time, and then I could just scroll through these documents and really quickly assign certain documents to different residents. So I can break up this document into 50 separate pieces. So I would just select my page breaks here. Let's say this one's page 1 to 5 is going to go to this resident under, let's just say this is a quick progress note. It's going to automatically name that for me. And then I can continue to page through this document and find certain page breaks. So I can break this up really, really quickly. Instead of using a PDF editor, this is a fantastic way to just kind of clean up that whole process. So I can select the same resident, different residents, anything I do within here, it's going to do for me. And then I can add more documents. So like I said, you can break these up into multiple pieces here. So I can add a new document. And when I do that, it just brings up another window for me. I can continue to break up this document really, really quickly. Um, so, so we've added more documents here. So I can break this up into 5 pieces I want. We'll just do 3 for this quick example. But I can continue to break up this document really quickly. So let's just say we got 24 pages. So we'll go 9 to 24. We'll close it up with this resident under this category. And then when I hit split PDF, what it's going to do is going to take that 124-page document. It's going to break it up into 3 pieces and then push it off to the residence chart. So if you have multiple documents that you need to scan in at once, you don't have to do that individually. You can just scan them all in at one time. You hit that shortcut and then break up those documents really quickly and push them off into the chart. There's another thing that happens consistently in facilities. There's a maximum file size that you can upload to Point Click Care. A lot of times you take a document all right to the end, you go to submit it to your residence chart, and then all of a sudden there's a notification that pops up that says you need to go back and rework the document or shrink the document to meet that maximum file size that you can upload. Major pain. You've already put a lot of work into it. Our system's going to automatically do that for you. So you would run through the same process. You'd select your resident, you'd select your document category, and then when it shows up in PCC, it's going to look something like this. So you would just hit one of these 2 green buttons as you would, and then our system's going to automatically break up those documents for you. So if you needed to break it up into 6 pieces, you'll have part 1 of 1, 1 of 2. It's going to go ahead and break up all those documents for you. So you're never going to bump into that as well. So then once again, I just hit upload next. That document's pushed to the residence chart. Here's a good example of, an eFax. So if I'm in my dashboard here and I see there's a medical records eFax that just flows right into my dashboard, and then I could just select my resident, select my document category, and then upload next, upload and homepage. If I wanted to send an eFax, this happens sometimes in the case of a physician will stop by the medical records office and said, hey, I just took down some notes. Can you get these into the residence chart, but then also push this document to my office? So I can go ahead and use this click eFax button here. And what I can do, I'll just go ahead and send it to myself so you get a clear example. But you can have an address book saved here. We have a cover page that's saved. And then you can send this right from our system as well. So let's say this was just some notes. Here are your notes. And then I have the 2 options here. I can send an eFax and delete the document if I don't want to put it in my residence chart, or I can send an eFax and get it in my residence chart. That's what I want to do. So I can go ahead and click this green button there. And then I have the same document up on the screen here, and I would run through the same simple process of selecting my resident, selecting my document category, and uploading next or uploading homepage. So overall, just a really efficient process. It's going to remove a bunch of steps for your team. And just it's going to save them about 80% of the time from what we've seen across the board. I did have one customer that just recently onboarded this tool last month, and they've saved over 100 hours in just using this tool in their day-to-day. So there's been some fantastic case studies on this, but would love to ultimately spend a little bit more time with you, kind of walk through the ins and outs of the app. There's a couple more features within there that I'd love to show you. There's a history tab that'll show you everything that's been uploaded to Point Click Care. But as I mentioned, ultimately, it's just going to relieve a bunch of steps for you guys and allow you to get those charts fully digital in Point Click Care. So like I said, would love to connect with you and Francis, find a time on the calendar that works for you guys. I would love to walk you through this. We can test it in a couple of your facilities as well if you guys want to get some real-time feedback. But ultimately, just really excited to continue the conversation of implementing this solution at your organization. So let me know if there's anything I can do to help. I'm going to share a couple dates with you, but would love to jump on the calendar and kind of meet you guys a little bit more formally and walk you through the ins and outs of the tool and receive any questions that you guys have, and would just love to get your feedback across the board. So thank you, Corinne. I really appreciate you taking the time to jump in and watch this today, and hopefully we'll connect soon. Thanks. Bye.